All right, live from the West Studios, the Ryan Hartson Show on BWC Internet Radio with Cory Bender. And we're going to be talking today about, obviously, the game that's so big, we have to talk about it on this network, I believe, 4 times.
That's correct.
Yeah, 4 times. With the preview we did with the entire cast of of BWC Internet Radio, me, Tim, Cory, Willie, and Andrew last week. And then we talked about it twice, me and Tim. We had 2 segments on our YouTube channel about it. One was just kind of the topical stuff, breaking down the quarterbacks, and because both quarterbacks
just
had
pretty much different positions, I guess.
Right, the quarterbacks had very unique stories to them. So we hit that up quite a bit earlier this week. And then of course we had the X's and O's segment where we hashed out this game as best we could and then picked the game. According to Vegas, Green Bay still favored by 2.5 today. I looked up that line earlier.
Okay.
And I guess that's what we'll do again with Cory. It's good to be here. I'll let you start. It's Pittsburgh and Green Bay.
No, it's
not.
not.
No, it's not. They're not playing. Okay.
No.
Did I get that wrong already? Am I wrong already? This early in the show. I don't even know who's playing. Okay. Okay. So look at this game. What is the bigger key? Is it the Packers' offense, or is it the Packers' defense to try to go against this Pittsburgh juggernaut on both sides of the ball?
You know what? I think not just for the Packers. This game's going to be for both offenses in my mind, because they're both defenses have been on fire as of late. You know what? I think the defenses will be able to shut down offenses enough. So I think it's the offense's job to score as many points as they can, because this is going to be a defensive game. This won't be some high-scoring Super Bowl like it was.
I don't think so.
No. This is going to be even though the Packers will spread out the ball and their 5 receivers set, hopefully they will, because it'll help them out more. Troy Polamalu, if he can get up on the line, he's going to crush them. I mean, you've seen the shit he's done all year.
Yeah, he's brilliant. Troy Polamalu, he made so many plays where you see him. It was like week 2 or 3 against the Titans this year, where it was a goal line stand. Yeah. And Chris Johnson's making the run, and Polamalu jumps over the line and just grabs him and throws it back. Sweet. The dude is crazy.
He is.
And I've heard people on ESPN and NFL Network calling for a shootout because in 2009 they met in Heinz Field, very cold Heinz Field, 37-36, and as a Packer fan, that game was awful. Oh my God, they're going back and forth. Ben Roethlisberger throws for like 500 yards. Yep. And then that crazy touchdown at the end of the game, I thought he dropped it the first time I saw it, and I was like, "Yeah, he dropped." I thought he dropped it, but it was a shame. So that game was very depressing, and as a Packer fan, obviously it's kind of you're not excited about this matchup going in. Yeah,
the advantage is definitely going to go to the Steelers in my mind, even though it's not looking that way because. They're not as one-dimensional as the Packers in my mind. I mean, it's been working for them in the playoffs, but the Steelers got Rashard Mendenhall, and he's a beast. They'll be able to run the ball more, but the Packers can spread out as much as they can and complete the ball and just do the best they can. They'll be just fine because they want to spread out the entire defense. But the thing is, though, is that Aaron is kind of like Roethlisberger in a way. I mean, Roethlisberger, he will extend the play. They can't let him do that. Because when he extends play, that's when he's at his best. And Aaron, that's when he's pretty good. I mean, we saw that during the Atlanta game. We see him do it all year. But if you let Ben Roethlisberger extend the play and you don't sack him, you're fucked.
Yeah,
you're done for.
Right. I heard you say it though with Aaron on one of the other 8 billion preview shows we've done about this game, where with Aaron it's like run, no throw, no run, no throw, no. Okay. And no matter what he does, it always ends up okay. Ben is exactly the same, only it's a little bit different because he's a little taller and he's a lot huskier.
Heavier,
No, he's not fatter. He's
he's
bigger.
More muscular.
He's massive. He looks like he's on steroids. But anyway. Well, I don't want to bring anything up into question. Super Bowl week. This is probably the wrong week to stir up a steroid controversy.
Good job, Ryan.
It's not like anyone's going to hear this anyway.
Thanks for the 5 people who watched this.
I know, right? So, I lost my train of thought. Anyway. Yeah, it happens all the time.
Shut up, Tim.
Anyway, with Ben's, he does have the elusiveness, but at the same time, I've heard defensive players saying trying to tackle Ben is like trying to tackle a snowplow. Yeah. or trying to tackle a water buffalo, are the comparisons. It's impossible to bring him down, and if you try to get him, he's going to grab you and throw you out of the way. He's not your typical, like Peyton Manning. If you go to sack him, Peyton Manning, he doesn't even take the sack. He falls before the defender gets there because he just doesn't want to take the hit. When Ben, not only does he take the punishment, he dishes it out. And that's what's so terrifying, is that Charles Woodson coming on that cute corner blitz Dom Capers likes to run, if he gets on Ben Roethlisberger, I mean...
But he's done for.
I know.
And then the opposite end, Aaron, he won't usually get sacked, but he'll just throw the ball away. But you can't do that the entire game, though. You have to be able... Well, he can find, he'll either run it or pass it.
Aaron is brilliant at extending the play. And the receivers know how to get open with him, with Driver and Jennings and James Jones.
But the thing is, though, is that Roethlisberger and the Steelers can do that, too. And
absolutely. I mean, the teams are mirror images of each other.
Much. They run the same defense. They run not really the exact offense, but they extend the play pretty much the same way.
What I said on the show that we did on Thursday was that these teams, there's kind of a yin and yang factor. Where everything the Steelers do well, the Packers suck at. But everything the Packers do well, the Steelers suck at. Give you an example, the Steelers run the ball well. Packers were only 18th in the league stopping the run. They're not very good at stopping the run. Packers have an elite secondary, and the Steelers' passing numbers, at least, haven't been great, even though Ben is elite late in games. The Steelers' offensive line is average at best, and the Packers' pass rush, at least with Clay Matthews, is brilliant. So there's kind of that one team's doing something well, and yet at the same time the other team's doing the exact same thing terribly. So it's kind of this, which one of these you throw all the factors up in the air, and which one comes down first.
Pretty much.
And it's just, this game is nuts.
It all comes down to who just plays the best that game. I mean, it sounds stupid, but it's what happens in the Super Bowl. If you're going to play lights out, then for one game, they could have a second-string quarterback come in for either of these teams, and they could play a lights-out game. You never know what could happen. So
from an analysis standpoint, this Super Bowl, there are just so many different just factors that play into it. Yeah. This is the best analysis Super Bowl because of the strengths and weaknesses. You go back last year, Saints and Colts did everything equally well.
Yeah.
Nothing there. Steelers, Cardinals the year before, Steelers had the edge in every category.
But the Cardinals still were that underdog team who looked like they kind of wanted it more.
Right. And just but this one, both teams are dead even.
Yeah.
And you just don't know where you're going to go. But at the same time, I don't know why the Packers are favored in Vegas to win. We've mentioned this. This is the third time we've mentioned it in a show. Packers are favored by 2.5 to beat the Steelers, when really the Steelers won 12 games. They've got the better quarterback. They've got the better defense. The only advantages Green Bay have are receiving core and offensive line. And at the end of the day, offensive line is huge, but receiving core, if you have an okay receiving core, it really doesn't matter if you have an elite quarterback.
Yeah.
Brady, all he has is Wes Welker. And Peyton Manning does have an elite receiving core when Dallas Clark is healthy. So, but if you have an elite quarterback, you don't need an elite receiving core. But Aaron has the pieces. It almost doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
These but the Steelers have the things that you need to win championships. They've got the running game. They've got the better quarterback and the better defense. They've got the real substance, and that is why I picked them to win the game on Thursday. And you picked Pittsburgh as well.
Yes, I did. And then going back to the underdog situation, during the season, they've kind of been the underdog all year. No one's really been talking much about them. It's been a lot about the Colts or the Saints or whatever. I mean, just
who
or the Patriots, Colts, Saints. Throughout the year.
Which team are we talking about?
No, during the year, people who have been talking about the Colts making it to the Super Bowl, stuff like that.
Are we talking about the Steelers?
No.
Well, are we talking about the Packers?
But during the season, not many people were.
What is this in reference to?
Just let me get to my point. A lot for the whole year. Hines Ward has just. Hines Ward for the whole year has been talking about how they've been kind of under the radar, and he's been liking under the radar shit like this. Yeah, so that's just my point. And you know what? I think if a lot of people under the radar will play very good, but I just don't understand why they're not favored at all. It's just all I'm trying to get to.
It's very bizarre. So, really quickly, I picked Pittsburgh to win. You picked Pittsburgh. Just a quick why on your picking the Pittsburgh to win.
Why?
Yeah.
They have more experience, and I just believe that I don't know. It's just the experience factor in my mind. I don't think Packers are ready. I mean, they could be a little bit more hungry, but being under the radar, I think the Steelers might feel a little disrespected, so I think they'll have the edge.
Yeah, I think Pittsburgh's going to win the game. Tim's here.
Hey, Tim.
I know it doesn't seem like it.
Hey, man.
Who do you think's going to win?
Steelers.
Why?
Because against, and Ben Roethlisberger is short.
I don't know if you could hear that or not, but he thinks the Steelers are going to win because Ben Roethlisberger is straight.
Yes.
So there you go. All right, I'm done for a while. I'm either gonna be doing the show on Monday, especially if the Packers win. I'll be doing that on Monday. Otherwise, I'll push it back to a JMFPSP at some point, because you can understand as a Packer fan, if the Steelers win, there's no way I'm doing anything on Monday, except I do have a couple of things that I have to do in the evening, but that's irrelevant at this point. So good stuff as always. Mm-hmm. We will be back at some point in the next week, breaking down the Super Bowl, and I called for it that Chris Carter was going to get in the Hall of Fame this time around. Something tells me he's going to get snubbed. I don't think he's going to get in. I think he has to get in. Like, he's the second greatest receiver ever. Mm-hmm. He needs to be in the Hall of Fame. I don't think he's going to make it in. And if he gets snubbed again, I'm going to be pissed on this air. Look forward to that next with Cory Bender. It's Ryan Hartson on BWC Internet Radio.